So this video today is going to explore these little micro cassette recorders. I bought a few different models off eBay, all in various states of disrepair. And I just thought they might be quite fun to do something with, maybe either recording ambient sounds or synth sounds and then using them in a live setup in some way. So this particular one is a Philips recorder. And then I've got Olympus recorder here. This one sort of is a bit intermittent, occasionally works. So the Philips recorder actually uses a mini-cassette. It's a different format, a little bit like Betamax and VHS. There's a couple of different formats. So the Toshiba unit uses a micro cassette, and so does the Olympus one. And then the Philips mini-cassette is actually slightly larger. So that was a bit annoying because I didn't realise that at the time, and I had to buy some of the other type of cassette as well. So this Philips unit has a built-in microphone, also a microphone line in, a microphone input, which rather irritatingly uses a tiny jack. I can't remember what size it is, but I bought an adapter for it so that I can sort of record things into a standard mini headphone jack. But annoyingly, it doesn't have any headphone output, so the only way to sort of hear what you've recorded is via its built-in speaker, which sounds awful. I'll just give this a little test now. The tape kind of stutters a bit. I think the belt I had to replace in this isn't quite the right size. Testing, 1, 2, 3, testing, 1, 2, 3, testing. And when you flick this down...
Anyway, testing, 1, 2, 3, testing, 1, 2, 3, testing.
But it certainly sounds lo-fi. This Toshiba unit also needed its belt changing, which was very difficult to do. But the nice thing about this one is it has both a microphone input and a headphone out. So it's much more useful, but it's not working very well still. But hopefully it's working well enough for me to do something with, so maybe record some synth drones onto it or something like that. But anyway, let's try and make something using these little things. So I'll just run through my setup here. So for Toshiba tape recorder, which has got some synth drones recorded onto it, the record function seemed to have just randomly broke just as I was doing this video. So I was hoping to record some piano loops onto it, but it's got mostly a synth drone plus some random other little bits which cut in where I've tested things out. So, but the idea is it kind of creates a texture anyway. And then because this emits a horrible squeal, I'm not entirely sure why, I then decided to run it into this monotron, which I'm just using the filter. It's coming into the auxiliary input, and I'm using the filter to kind of cut off that high end on it. Then I'm going to sort of have a drone going on this synth here, the JT4000M Micro. And then this one here, I've decided to try a contact mic actually just on the speaker of the tape recorder. There's a synth drone recorded onto this tape cassette. Then I'm going to sort of play some more melodic parts on the Korg Volca keys. This is all going into this little desk, which is then outputting from the auxiliary send to my cheapskate pedal board, which is just doing reverb, overdrive, and then some delay. And then I'm recording this onto a little Zoom thingy bob. So yeah, that's my setup, and I'll do something with it now. back in the studio now, and I quite liked what came out there. As with all these things, I think the best results can be had when taking small sections of like a longer live improvisation and picking out those little moments of magic which might happen. I'm not too sure any moments of magic really happen, but there's a couple of bits I really liked. So I've kind of chopped those bits out and made loops. Now this is all very because it's sort of ambient. It's not really fixed to a tempo or anything. So I just rather crudely chopped it all up, and then I played some pad sounds over the top, adding a bit of harmony. And I decided to explore some sounds from Analog Lab, which is a Arturia plugin. I got myself a new keyboard recently, and it came with instruments and some plugins, and I used this preset called Tokyo Dreams and did a little bit of editing to it. It worked quite nicely. Then I added just some, what I'm calling just textures, which are some sort of samples and loops and things. I'll play a little bit of the track after this, and if you want to listen to the whole track, I'll put a link down below to the SoundCloud. If you enjoy music like this, I've actually just put together an album called Drones Ambient Works, and some of the experiments I've done on YouTube have ended up being on the album. I'll put a link to that as well below if you fancy checking that out. Thank you.